I'm Otis. This is Clarity. She's getting the wasp spray. We are getting ready to pull our well. We bought this property 2 years ago. We're getting ready to move out here, so we're trying to see if the well's going to work.
I'll let you spray it.
So far, I put electricity to it and it trips the breaker, so we got to find out if there's water down there or the motor's just seized or what our problem is. And we have wasps, I guess. There's wasps in these blocks, so we got to find them. So these bolts are loose. I've had them out once to test for power at the unit here, and it is getting power, and my clamp on amp meter was saying that I'm drawing 50 amps on both legs of the 220. So
Where do you want this at? On your truck?
yes. I'm drawing 50 amps on both legs, and it's supposed to be a half horsepower motor, which I think said that it should draw 6 amps on startup, so something's wrong down there. That's why we're pulling it. That's what it looks like inside. You want to use a leaf blower and try and blow some of the dirt out of there?
Sure.
Yep. So these are the wires that power the well. From what I understand, this is an adjuster. That's how you pull the well, pull tension on the well, or seat it down at the bottom for the water pipe. So I got to loosen this, and then I put a puller in here, and I'll be able to pull the whole thing out.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay.
What are we doing?
This is what I'm going to use to pull the well. So this is a 1-inch nipple. This will go in the top. These are just parts. So it's supposed to be, is I'm going to connect to the nipple. I'm going to put that on there. Just run a nut. This swivels, so I'll be able to turn it once I get it up, pulled up. Put this together. Maybe.
You want me to try it? Stay small fingers.
Got it. So I'll tighten that all the way down, and then I put that in there. This will screw in. I'll show you that a little bit better by the time we're doing it. And then it's supposed to be 1.25 inches down below, so I'll take this off and put that on there, Once we get below the pitless unit, which is the part that's sticking out of the ground, we'll get actually down to get to the well pipe. We'll put that in there and be able to continue pulling.
Okay.
Okay.
Good deal. What are we doing?
So now we're going to loosen this adjuster. Attempt to.
Kill more wasps.
Wasp nest.
Mm-hmm.
Is going to be, I gotta cut the wires, remove these wire nuts, get the wires out of the way, and then we can hook up the skid loader and start pulling.
And hope it works.
And hope it comes. So I've got that all the way loosened up. Like this, there's a wedge that pushes it against the side. So I got that loosened up.
Okay.
So I'm going over this adjuster. When it was all the way down, there's an O-ring 4 or 6 feet down, and this adjuster wedges the O-ring tight to the fitting that comes out with the water. And so I have this all the way adjusted up, so it should be loose. So I should be able to pull this up to the bottom of the pitless unit, and then it'll be well pipe from the rest of the way down, from the way I understand it.
And wool pipe might be...
It might be
metal.
steel pipe, it might be PVC pipe, it might be
Okay.
coil plastic.
You'll know when you get there.
We'll know when we get there. And we're hoping that there's water on the bottom of it.
Cutting the wires?
I'm just trying to unsmash the wire nuts so that I don't have to make the wires any shorter than they already are.
It's a quick little rain. Hopefully it doesn't do it again. Did you do this last time, or is this the first time?
No, this is the first time I've done this.
Me too.
So these wires are what power the well?
Yes.
What do they hook up to?
There is a well controller up there.
Oh.
And so this looks like, so this is a 220 motor.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have 2 legs of 110. And they didn't have any 3-wire Romex. So
What
it
does
looks
that mean?
like they, well, this should be like a 12-3, and this is a 12-2. So they only have a neutral and then the positive, or the, I don't know what the correct term is for it. But these would be the wires that give you power.
Okay. And then that one's like a ground
And
wire?
so it's like they ran 2 110s down here to make 220 instead of a 220.
Okay. Could that have been why the motor?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Because that's all 220 is 2 110s.
Okay.
It's just that They obviously didn't have the right wire.
Yeah, they improvised.
They improvised. They didn't have the right wire when they were
So that thing that
installing
I
it.
bought from Menards is what is up there.
Yep, that's up there. That's
Okay.
the control box.
Okay.
When we started, the control box didn't work. So we had to put a new control box in to find out that the well didn't work.
Skid loader time?
So the control box wasn't well.
The control box wasn't well, and neither is the well.
You guys are funny. So what do we have here?
It
So-
won't too close. If it goes shitty, it could snap and fly anywhere.
So this is the, it's not going to.
Okay.
But it might. We understand what you're saying.
No, I mean,
This is the O-ring I was talking about.
Mhm.
This is the wedge piece that
Okay.
that adjuster hooks to
Yep.
and forces it together.
hmm
So
So what does this connect to?
this connects to the pipe that goes out of the pitless unit
To where?
that runs to your
To the water.
water. This is where your water
Okay.
comes out. So it stays that far below ground so it doesn't freeze.
Okay. What's at the very bottom of this? Just
aha.
The
Nothing.
pump is what's at the other end. So there's no water in here.
okay.
The water comes up to here and then comes
From
out
the pump.
from the
pumps
pump.
It up. I see.
Correct.
Okay, and then it comes out to the piping that goes to the house.
And then this
I
is
see.
what heads towards the house. Correct.
Gotcha.
And that's dry right now.
This is dry, but you would expect this to be dry.
Okay, the water didn't get up that far.
Well, I haven't tried pumping water in a week,
Right.
so I don't know if it got this far or not, but I'm guessing that it did not.
And underneath that, is that metal?
Yes, that's metal pipe.
It looks corroded.
So it's probably metal all the way down?
Yes.
And your well's at least 10 feet deep.
It's at least 10 feet deep. So, we get clamps put on that. So I'm putting this clamp on the pipe so that I can spin this top part. Since we're hooked up to that,
Mm-hmm.
I can spin this and we can get rid of this and we can put the adapter on
Okay.
and hook onto the next section of pipe.
Okay. So you're not. I see. Okay.
But
That's really far up.
I may be cutting this. Since if it was plastic, I think it would have come apart. But being metal, I'm not going to reuse it.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's much point in
Saving it.
trying to save it.
But you can still try to pump the water out without it. Yep. Right?
No. No, because the pipe will be gone.
So how are you gonna see if we get water up?
We'll see if this is wet
Okay.
when we get up that high. And then we'll drop something down there and see if it goes splunk.
So if it does, how do you test the water then? If you can't get the water up, we wait until you fix a new pipe on that?
Yes.
Okay.
But if it's dry, then
There's no
it's
point.
probably not worth putting a pipe back on it.
Gotcha. Then we pay.
Then we get to have a new well drill.
Yeah.
They cut a great big straw.
Now straight back. Putting these vice grips on here just so that my rigging, my strap doesn't slide up the pipe and let it go all the way down. I think I want to get something longer to hook onto that. Gotta go through Connex, it'll be a minute.
Okay. I'm gonna scooch up there. I'll be right back, Kai.
I figured if you were, I was going to tell you you're nuts. The only way I can see putting stainless pipe back in, but stainless pipe has a tendency to go. What? I ain't got that kind of money. Well, if it was stainless pipe already, but. Boom up. Come forward and then boom up. Go forward a little. The pump's rubbing now. Okay, boom up. The pump's rubbing the casing now. Okay, that's when the feeling come up. So I'm gonna bet that this is what we call baby shit.
Oh, wow.
Just like baby shit.
Yep.
Been feeding your well carrots, haven't you? Uh-huh. Come on, coupling. Come on, coupling.
What is it?
Ah, got it.
What?
Just the pump.
What does that mean?
That means you ain't got a whole lot of water. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can survive on that much water. But you don't know. Okay.
So there's a little bit of water down there.
It looks like there's probably about 20 foot.
What's normal?
Depends on how many gallons a minute you want to pump. Anywhere from setting down in 60 foot to 120 foot of water.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I'm going to guess you're probably only going to need, that's just a 10 gallon a minute pump.
What, I don't know. What does that mean? 10 gallon
Means
minute?
every minute 10 gallons will come out the top of the well.
Is
It
that,
pumps 10 gallons per minute.
is that enough for
For a house, usually,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Well, yay! We got it out. Good job, guys. Good job, Kai. Bye-bye.
Beep, beep, beep. To what? To the well.
So right now we're just measuring the length of the well? Is
Find
that
out how far down it is to water, and then how far down it is to the bottom of the well. I can't remember Leo's old saying you used to drop one of those down and count, and it was so many foot.
it on video? How many you got to put in there? Just a
Put them
handful?
all in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a day or two before he puts the well back in, so let it set in there and dissolve and get it good and clean. And then he'll just pump it out on the ground for a day. Cleans the water out, and then you can pump it through and see what works and what don't.